Hey, Father Taylor here on a kind of warmed up Thursday, December 18th with your weekly EBlast. Well, this being the 18th means over the next 7 days, we have a lot of great stuff to do. Remember that the services are here to bring us into God's presence so that we might worship him. I mean, that's the focus of it, is really worshiping him. There's a lot of other things that go on too. And that's why inviting people to services and to various functions we do can be very helpful for them in their lives. So continue to consider who might you invite to anything that's going on coming up. So here's what we got cooking. You know that there is the annual centerpiece making event, which involves a dinner. That's Friday. Check those time out. That's largely a women's event, but I don't think it's exclusively women. But the centerpieces have become a big hit for people both in the church and for their friends. That's a great event. Invite one of your friends to. I particularly want to get your attention about Saturday morning. This Saturday morning, 8:30, out by 10. That's an hour and a half. That's basically the length of a church service, but it's an hour and a half of a retreat. I think I called it a pause for Christmas. The way it's set up is there's very little instructions, there's no preaching. There's a great scripture which is broken up for you to be able to listen to. That's the way it's really set up, is give you opportunity to listen carefully, slowly to the scripture around the birth of Jesus. We have a little bit of hymns, but all sung a cappella. So it's very simple. The church will be beautiful. And by the end of it, what I'm hoping is that in an hour and a half, will be a miracle, but that in an hour and a half of listening and being and quieting yourself and being in the Lord's presence, you would be able to know what the most important prayer on your heart is at this Christmas. I don't know if you ever thought about that, but we have lots of prayers for this and for that and this thing and this person. But what's the deep prayer in your heart that you would ask of God and God might ask of you? So that's what this is about. It's a beautiful little hour and a half, 8:30, out by 10. I'll have some coffee ready. You can bring that in. Please bring something to write with, whether you write on your notes function on your phone or if you write on a piece of paper. But please bring something, because it's going to be you, God, in the midst of our community, listening carefully and writing down some things. Okay? So that's Saturday, 8:30 to 10. Sunday, we have something special at 9:15, which I'm not going to tell you about. It's a surprise, you know. So that's coming up. So we have our services at 8 and 9:15. And then Christmas Eve, 24th, services at 4, which is probably the most popular because people get to come and people get to bring kids if they want. It's a little earlier. That's the time before you have the big dinner. So that's going to be a great time. So that's on Christmas Eve. And then the second Christmas Eve service, a little more traditional, and that's at 8. And then in the morning, we have a Christmas Day service, which is very, very simple, but it's just a time to take a moment to reflect, to hear the third set of Christmas readings, and to maybe sing a song, say some thanks to God, to pray. And that's at 9 o'clock right in the church. Okay, so that's the main things that are going on. I do want to continue to remind you that our friends in town, particularly over at Emet Shalom, you know, the Simsbury Jewish community. I forget how they title themselves. They don't call it a synagogue, but the Jewish community here in Simsbury. The situation in Australia is not a one-time event. It's part of a long history of events. People are still reeling from October 7th, this war in Gaza. There's just so much going on. In addition to that, we've had some other tremendously violent acts, including shootings at very peaceful Brown University. Some terrible things. So please be praying. Be praying for our Jewish neighbors and their sense of safety I just wanted the rabbi to know how much we cared about them, that we had not forgotten this, that while we might be singing Merry Christmas, we're also grieving with them. So anyway, I just bring that up. The environment that Jesus was born into was not one in which all the cookies were already made and everything was fine and perfect. It's quite the opposite. It was quite much more like what we're looking at this Christmas. So anyway, I just ask your prayers for those people for whom Christmas is a hard time. We had a great service last night. That was really a fantastic service for the service of hope and healing. Very just kind of quiet, but powerfully in deep ways. So thank you for all who were involved in that service. Okay, so pray about who you might be inviting to an event, whether it's the retreat, that'd be great. Centerpiece making, that's another fun one, or Christmas Eve. And we look forward to seeing you perhaps this weekend. Thanks.